my page right here. And I'm gonna start this circle really light and loose, just by making lots of circles, and we can pick our favorite from the bunch. I can't make a perfect circle, so I don't expect you to either. This is usually the best way to make one. Once you have that though, we are going to divide our circle right in half, like you're cutting a pizza. And then you're gonna divide it about a third from the bottom. Sorry, wow, I'm gonna cut now. You're gonna cut it about a third from the bottom for our horizontal line, like you're cutting a pizza, but you're not cutting it. All right, and then once you have these lines in here, you're all doing Scrooge, yay! Yes, some of you are so supportive. Yes, time to go home. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot of stuff to add here, huh? The lines we have at the moment are what we call construction lines. They're here to help us pinpoint certain traits, like where to put his nose, his bill, and where to put his eyes, everything like that. That way we can keep him nice and proportional. From here, we're gonna start on his duck bill, and this is gonna sit on the sides of the circle, right next to our horizontal line here. And we're gonna start with a J shape, starting a little above our circle, a little above our horizon line, through the line on the right side of our circle here. So it's kind of like a J shape, like a candy cane that got stuck to our circle right there. So I'm gonna add that on both sides. We're gonna try to keep it symmetrical if we can. Feel free to keep this really light and sketchy though. This is the one place in Disneyland we encourage you to be sketchy. Yes, it's a chance to shine. All right. And then once you have those lines, we're going to add a little dot underneath on both sides. This is gonna help us expand his bill a little bit. So I'm gonna really lightly add a rainbow connecting these two. It's probably gonna go into your circle a little bit while touching the bottom. And then we're gonna add a C shape connecting those. And then we can lock this in. So locking in is a term that we use. It just means that we're locking in our lines. You're gonna wanna push down on your pencil and really darken in all of the lines we wanna keep for our final drawing. So we're gonna wanna keep all of these outer lines, but our circle will eventually just fade away. So then at this point, we're gonna give a little bit of thickness to the top of his bill. So we're gonna add a curved line hovering above. For Scrooge, he does wear glasses, some little spectacles, and eventually those will sit right over this line. So this kind of acts as like the top of his nose, even though he doesn't really have one, kind of like the bridge right there. And then at this point, we're gonna give Scrooge some cheeks. So we're gonna follow the shape we made right here with a C shape. So just a curved line like this to really puff out his cheeks. And we're gonna lock that in as well. And today, not only are we drawing Scrooge, but we're actually gonna be drawing him with like this big grumpy face. Because it is before Christmas, and if you're familiar with Mickey's Christmas Carol, he's eventually visited by some spirits, and they tell him like, pay your employees better, and he's like, no, and then he keeps talking to him, and he's like, okay, and then he's happy. We're at the pre-Christmas stage right now though, so he's still very bah humbug, you know, he's walking around a big penny pincher. So we're gonna be drawing him with a really mean looking face. So we're gonna make the bottom bill really frowned. So we're gonna go below our cheeks here, and we're gonna add a curved line coming out from the bottom on both sides. And then we're gonna add another rainbow. It's gonna be a little bit more exaggerated than the one above it to really make him look grumpy. And then we're gonna go up to his eyes. Now, since we're drawing him very mad, his eyebrows are actually going to be coming all the way down to his duck bill. That's how upset he is. So we're going to start off with a V shape. So we're going to start from the very center where we made here, center of our T, and we're going to draw 2 diagonal lines going up on each side. Now these are going to be the lines we follow with our eyebrows, but to make it look a little bit more natural, we're going to start with a U shape on the side here. So I'm going to make a little U, and then I'm going to curve it into the line, and then a little bit below to the edge of our circle. So it's going to make it look like a very sassy check mark, like Nike, just do it. We don't own that one yet, but yeah, catch me up here next week with Nike. From this point though, we're just going to make the other side, and we're going to piggyback off of our first U, just by adding a curved line, and we're going to curve it the same way, onto the line, and then to the edge of our circle. Now from here, we can just fill in the available space with his eyes. This is one of the reasons that Scrooge is one of my favorite characters to draw. You don't have to be able to draw a perfect oval in order to get his eyes right. From here, we can just fill in the blank by adding a parentheses going down from his eyebrow. So I'm going to do this on both sides, curve. So it's going to curve in toward the middle. So it's going to make a big J shape almost, and then we can lock that in. So then at this point, we can lock in his bill by bringing down the line from our cheeks down toward the eyes. And then we can wake up Scrooge by giving him some pupils. Now, if you want to give him a different shaped pupil, like you want to give him little money signs, he's all about money, so that would be fitting. Or you could give him like gold coins. I'm going to give him the classic oval, but you can put whatever you like for some extra credit. If you decide to do an oval though, you're going to want to put it in these corners of his eyes, so he's looking like he's looking straight at us. And I'm going to draw an oval mostly inside of our eye, but a little bit into the eyebrow. Because if we have the eyebrow cover his pupils a little bit, it really pushes how grumpy he is, how angry he looks. So then we're going to lock in everything that we see. So we're going to lock in this space. And then we're going to darken in his pupil as much as we can. The darker the lines, the more noticeable they are, and we really want to see his eyes. Right. And at this point, he's looking pretty grumpy, but we're going to exaggerate that by thickening out his eyebrows. So I'm going to go off to the side and stretch out. I'm going to stretch out a curved line. So this is going to come around the original line we made, and it's going to be like the J shape, thickening out the eyebrow that we have. And then it's breaking up a little bit. At the moment, you're probably looking at your page and thinking, wow, this is suspiciously looking a lot like Donald Duck. Well, that's okay. They are related after all. He is his nephew. So in order to really make it look like Scrooge though, we're going to be giving him some sideburns. And these sideburns are going to sit on each side of his head with 3 big feathers. So we're going to start off right about in the middle of his head here. And we're going to add a curved line going out and up. And his feathers are shaped a lot like a shark fin. So it's going to go up. He has one in the middle pointing down, and one on the bottom pointing down as well. So we're going to do that on both sides. Again, the middle, the top one pointing up, and the other 2 pointing down. And then we're going to lock that shape in. And then we're going to add a few more feathers on the top of his head as well. So on the very top of his head, he has 3 more of these feathers. One pointing up, one pointing out to the side, and one pointing slightly down. Once you have these feathers in there, we can start to lock in Scrooge's head shape. So we can go from his sideburns up to his eyebrows, just following the lines of our original circle. And then we can follow the shape of our circle on the very top, just behind those feathers. And then Scrooge is still missing 2 things. We did mention them a little bit earlier. He needs his spectacles, his little glasses, as well as his top hat. So his glasses are going to sit right over this curved line we made earlier. And it's going to be 2 circles, one under each pupil. So I'm going to draw some circles in here. So one on each side, and then we can bridge them with just a rainbow right in between. And now he can see, yay! All right. And then from this point, we are going to start on his hat. The hat is going to be a U shape, starting off right behind our feathers here. And I'm going to lightly start to stretch out a really, really stretched out U. And then it's going to curve around on both sides. The rim of his hat is shaped a lot like a hot dog. So it's going to curve around. And then we're going to stretch up his hat from here. Now here's a chance for some creative freedom. Technically in cartoon world, the richer you are, the bigger top hat you have, right? Well, a fun fact, Scrooge Mcduck is the richest fictional character of all time. He is 5 times richer than Tony Stark. Yeah, I know, weird, huh? Someone spent a lot of time and looked this up. Scrooge Mcduck is worth about $65 billion. Yeah, this guy swims in money for fun, no joke. This is his thing. And then he still, throughout the whole movie, was like, nah, money. Anyways, so that means that I'm gonna draw his hat the way we see it in DuckTales and the other films. If you want to give him this massive hat, it would fit him pretty well because he's super rich. So if you want to give him some Doug Dimmadome hat, that'd be hilarious. We don't own that one either, but that's fine. So from here, whatever size hat you choose to do, we're going to start this off by bringing up a diagonal line a little bit off to the side from our eyebrows. We're going to stretch this up, and then it's going to curve into each line at the very top. You're going to want to lock in the rim of the hat first. And then we're going to lock in the very back. And then he does have a band on his hat, so this is going to sit a little bit below the middle and curve as well. After that, anything else you want to do is extra credits. I like to give him a bit of a shine to his hat by using the side of my pencil to shade this in. So if you leave a little gap in the middle, it makes his hat look extra shiny. He's a very rich duck, so I think he can afford someone to shine his hat. And at that point, you're all done. If you want to make it look like he's swimming in a pool of money, something like that, you're welcome to. Every artist needs a signature though, so find a spot on your page and put your name.